You're a decent rider. You're not crashing, you're not stalling. You can take a curve without panicking. Congrats. You're better than the average guy in flip-flops on a Grom. But here's a truth nobody wants to hear. You might be stuck. Not because you're lazy, not because you suck, but because you hit a hidden ceiling and you didn't even notice. Motorcycle progress doesn't just stall out when you're new. Some of the most experienced riders are coasting on 5-year-old habits. And the worst part, the more confident you feel, the less likely you are to realize it's happening. So let's break that down. If you've plateaued, I'll bet it's because of one of these 12 blocks: mental, physical, or just pure ego. Fix them and you go from rider to weapon. Ignore them and you'll stay in the land of good enough forever. Let's see which one's yours. Number 1, braking plateau. You think you're good at braking because you practiced a few emergency stops in a parking lot and watched a YouTube video on progressive brake pressure. But the moment something unexpected happens on the road, a car turns left, a deer sprints out, a corner comes in too hot, you grab a handful of front brake like it owes you money. That flinch? That's the plateau. Real braking skill isn't just about stopping. It's about control under pressure, modulation while leaned over, squeezing without panicking, feeling the exact point of tire grip before it lets go, not reacting with muscle memory from your MSF course 3 years ago. You can ride for decades without ever upgrading this skill, and most people do. You're also probably not using your rear brake right, either ignoring it completely or overusing it when you're scared. Watch your own GoPro footage. Are you trailing the brake into corners or just stabbing it before every turn? That's where the truth lives. Getting past this plateau means reprogramming your survival instincts. It means practicing braking drills with intent, not just stopping short and patting yourself on the back. Until you can brake smoothly, fast, and while leaned over, you're not great. You're just lucky. Number 2, corner entry hesitation. You approach the corner, feel a twinge of doubt, and roll off the throttle early just to be safe. Maybe you even squeeze the brakes a little before the turn starts, then stand the bike up slightly to regain control. You don't call it fear, you call it being careful. But that tiny flinch is costing you flow, speed, and most importantly, confidence. This is one of the most invisible plateaus because you don't even realize you're doing it. The line looks clean, you stayed upright, nobody honked. But in your head, corner never felt smooth. You were reacting the whole time instead of committing. And the worst part is, if something had changed mid-turn, you had nothing left to give. Getting past this block means unlearning decades of survival instinct. You need to feel what it's like to break into the corner, not before it. To trail off the lever smoothly as lean increases. To trust your tires, your suspension, your inputs. It's not about going fast. It's about staying in control while leaned over, under tension, without hesitation. Until you stop treating corner entry like a threat, you'll never ride like the road is yours. You'll always ride like it's trying to bite you. Number 3, posture blindness. You think you're relaxed. You feel like your posture's fine. But the video your buddy took tells a different story. Arms locked out like a scarecrow, head tilted like a confused duck, and your spine doing the worm mid-corner. Welcome to posture blindness, where your body lies to your brain and you believe it. Most riders never correct this because they never see it. On the bike, everything feels natural, but natural doesn't mean efficient. Natural doesn't mean safe. It just means familiar. And familiarity breeds complacency. Over time, your body adapts to bad habits, and you stop questioning them. Fixing this starts with brutal honesty. Get someone to film you riding. Pause the video. Look at your elbows, your neck, your hips. Ask, are you centered over the bike, or are you fighting it? Are your wrists relaxed or tense? Where's your head? Over the mirror or halfway into the next lane? Proper posture improves everything. Balance, input sensitivity, fatigue, reaction time. Makes you faster without trying. More stable without working harder. Until you break the illusion that it feels fine, you'll keep wondering why the bike never feels quite right. Truth hurts, but so does tendinitis. Pick your pain. Number 4. Speed ego trap. You ride fast. You pass people. Your chicken strips are non-existent. But deep down, you know. You know your speed is doing all the work your technique should be. You blast through straights like a rocket, then tiptoe through corners like it's a minefield. That's not mastery, that's compensation. This is the speed ego trap. You've convinced yourself that fast equals good because it's easy to measure and easy to fake. Anybody can twist the throttle, but very few can carry speed, manage speed, and shed speed with precision. And those are the riders you can't keep up with in the twisties, no matter how hard you chase. Speed inflates confidence. It makes you feel like you're progressing. But unless your braking points are consistent, your throttle control's intentional, and your lines are clean, you're just decorating your risk with adrenaline. The trap is seductive because people cheer for fast. Your friends notice it, your ego feeds on it, but the higher you chase the speed ladder without building technique underneath it, the harder the crash, literally and figuratively. Want to be great? Slow down. Learn how to corner like an assassin, not a cowboy. Then speed becomes a tool, not a crutch. Number 5. Mirror riding mentality. You say you're riding your own ride, but every glance in the mirror tells another story. You speed up when someone gains on you. You lean harder when you see someone behind you doing the same. You brake early so they don't think you're going too fast. You're not riding your bike. You're performing for someone else. This is the mirror riding mentality. Creeps in slowly, especially during group rides. You start making decisions based on the position of others, not the position of you, your body, your bike, your road. You take corners wide because that's what the guy in front did. You carry speed into a braking zone because you don't want to fall behind. You're reacting to shadows, not reading the road. And here's a twist. Nobody cares. That rider behind you isn't judging you. The one ahead isn't thinking about you. But you are, constantly. And it's exhausting. Mirror riding kills progress. You stop experimenting. You stop making corrections. You stop asking yourself, what did I feel? And only ask, did I keep up? There's a difference between riding with people and riding for them. One makes you better. The other just makes you tired. Block the mirrors if you have to. Focus on your inputs. Ride your ride. Number 6. Overdependence on tech. You've got ride modes. You've got traction control, ABS, cornering ABS, slide control, wheelie control, maybe even a 6-axis IMU and a TFT screen that looks like it belongs in a fighter jet. And it's awesome. Until the road throws something weird at you and suddenly you don't actually know what the bike is doing. This is the modern trap, confusing assistance with ability. The tech can save you, but it also hides your flaws. You brake too late and ABS keeps it smooth. You throttle mid-corner and traction control catches it. But you're not feeling any of that. You're just trusting a computer to sort it out. The result? You ride fast but shallow, confident but disconnected. And if one of those systems hiccups, or if you ride an older bike without them, you're left guessing. What's that wobble? Was that a slide? Did I do that, or did the bike save me again? Tech is a tool, not a teacher. It can help you learn, but only if you treat it as a backup, not a crutch. So try switching off the safety net once in a while. Learn what it feels like to get loose, and what you can do about it. Real control isn't automated. It's earned. Number 7. Stuck on one terrain. You've mastered your usual turf. You know every pothole on your favorite twisty road. You got the braking points memorized. Maybe you even feel fast. But take you off that familiar ground, say a gravel driveway, wet cobblestones, a light trail, and suddenly you're riding like it's your first day. This is a common plateau that hides behind comfort. You've stopped expanding your skill set because you're good here. But here is a tiny sliver of the riding universe. Real skill means adaptation. It means confidence on slick pavement, uphill hairpins, dusty back roads, or whatever else the road throws at you. Being great on one terrain isn't bad, but being uncomfortable everywhere else is. It means you're depending on conditions, not technique. And worse, it means fear is just waiting outside your safe zone. You don't have to become an enduro expert or a track demon. Go explore. Ride in the rain on purpose. Take that dirt shortcut. Ride an unfamiliar surface until it stops feeling unfamiliar. The goal isn't to be fearless, it's to be familiar. Because when you ride anywhere, not just where you feel in control, you'll stop being a one-trick rider and start becoming a real one. Number 8. Repetition without refinement. You ride a lot, maybe even every weekend. You've got your loop, your rhythm, your rituals. Same road, same gas stop, same pace. You tell yourself, hey, seat time is seat time. Deep down, you know the truth. You haven't improved in months, maybe years. Repetition without intent isn't training. It's just motion. It's comfort dressed up as progress. And it's one of the most invisible plateaus a rider can hit because from the outside, it looks like dedication. But here's the test. When was the last time you deliberately worked on a skill? Not just went faster, but smoother. Tried a new braking technique, focused on body position through corners, or corrected a flaw you know you have. Most riders plateau not because they're lazy, but because they stop being curious. They stop analyzing, stop learning. Riding becomes a habit, not a craft. Fixing this doesn't mean riding less. It means riding with more purpose. Pick one focus per ride. Corner exits, brake feel, throttle smoothness. Record yourself. Try a drill. Take a different road. Break the loop. Because if you keep riding the same way, you'll keep riding that way forever. And forever average is not why you started riding in the first place. Number 9. Bad habit denial. You know it's there. That one bad habit you've carried since year 1. Maybe your inside arm stiffens mid-corner. Maybe you hover the clutch when you shouldn't. Maybe your eyes drop to the pavement every time something spooks you. And every time someone points it out or you catch it on your GoPro, you do the same thing. Shrug it off. Yeah, I know, I've just always done that. As if repetition makes it less dangerous. This is how experienced riders get blindsided, not by lack of knowledge, but by refusal to evolve. You know the habit is there, but you've gotten so used to it that fixing it feels more uncomfortable than the flaw itself. That's the trap. Comfort in your mistakes. Every pro rider drills out bad habits until they vanish. Not once, constantly. That's why they stay sharp while others hit a wall. But if you keep hiding behind, "That's just my style," what you're really saying is, "I'm done improving." You're not. You just stopped believing you could. So pick one bad habit, name it, acknowledge it, then destroy it, one ride at a time, because nothing kills your potential faster than pretending the problem isn't there. Number 10. Fear of slow speed. You got no problem bombing down a canyon or blasting past traffic at 120, but the moment you're asked to do a tight U-turn in a parking lot, your brain short circuits and your feet hit the ground like you're about to fall off a bar stool. This isn't rare, it's rampant. So many riders compensate with speed, because when you're moving fast, the bike wants to stay upright. Physics does most of the work for you, but at 5 miles an hour, that's all you. Balance, clutch, throttle, and brake, all coordinated in real time without panic. The fear of slow speed work usually hides under jokes like, "I just hate parking lots. I'm not trying to ride a circus bike." But what really shows is a hole in your foundation, and the longer you avoid it, the bigger the hole gets. Low speed drills aren't sexy. They don't look cool on Instagram, but they're where real control is born. Master the friction zone, use the rear brake properly, and suddenly, stop-and-go traffic, tight spaces, and sketchy terrain all feel 10 times easier. You're not bad at riding. you're just coasting on momentum. Cut the speed, and the truth shows up fast. Number 11. Learning paralysis. You've watched every YouTube coach. You got a folder full of riding drill PDFs. You've memorized braking distances, ideal corner entry speeds, and how to trail brake like Rossi's Ghost. But when you swing a leg over the bike, you just ride. No drills, no intention, no practice plan. You tell yourself you'll apply it next time, but next time turns into next month and then never. This is learning paralysis, being addicted to information but allergic to implementation. It feels productive. It scratches the itch of getting better, but deep down, nothing's changing. And it's a trap, because your brain thinks watching a video is the same as gaining skill. It's not. Real riding improvement happens in the friction zone, literally and mentally. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to mess it up. You have to try. Most riders hit this wall when they feel like they know enough, but aren't willing to look clumsy again. But clumsy is good. It means you're pushing edges instead of just coasting. So yes, keep learning. But for every hour you spend watching tips, spend 5 actually riding with focus. Otherwise, you're just bench racing with your brain. Number 12. Overconfidence in gear, not skill. You roll out feeling invincible. Full CE-rated armor, $900 helmet, airbag vest. You tell yourself, I'm covered from head to toe. Nothing can go wrong. And that's the danger. Protective gear is supposed to be a backup, not a license to shut your brain off. But way too many riders subconsciously use it as a crutch, riding harder, sloppier, or more distracted simply because they feel safe. That's like sprinting blindfolded because you're wearing knee pads. This plateau is especially common with newer riders who invest heavily in gear but haven't built the instincts to avoid trouble in the first place. You see it in fast straight-line speeds, late reactions, and lazy scanning. They trust the Kevlar more than their awareness. Here's the truth. The safest riders aren't the ones with the most gear. They're the ones who rarely need it because they read traffic, anticipate chaos, ride like everyone's blind, and texting. And their gear, that's just insurance, not a reason to be reckless. So wear the best stuff you can afford. Don't confuse armor for ability. A well-timed swerve or an early throttle roll-off will protect you more than any jacket ever could. Skill always trumps padding. Gear just buys you luck when skill runs out. You probably hit at least one of these plateaus, and that's not a bad thing. The danger isn't being stuck, it's not realizing you're stuck. That's how riders flatline for years, thinking they're improving when really, they're just looping the same mistakes with more confidence. The real secret? Stay humble, stay curious, and treat every ride like it's giving you feedback, because it is. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these hit the hardest? Be honest, no shame here. Or, if you think I missed a big invisible plateau, drop it in the comments and teach the rest of us something new. The best riders never stop learning. So don't just scroll, contribute.